one of the things I find is that when you haven't won constantly and you are in a position to win, the know-how might, depart from you a little bit, right? In the build-up to the game, the amount of messaging from the club, right, towards their fan, the need for the fans to do this and do that, in my opinion, you're overcompensating.
The video is not the problem,
so
to be honest.
There's a chance.
I'll say something.
The video is not the problem.
I'll say something to
This same PSG scored,
I don't think it's necessary.
I think at Anfield and they went on to win that game. They did everything
that is my opinion.
Allow us enjoy this moment, bro. Thank you. God bless you.
I
think it's BS, but we'll move on. Right? Yeah. I think it's BS. But
if opinion no be your own, nah BS.
Hello, everybody. Welcome along to our Hindsight Podcast Studios. I am Yubi, and so Ndwonowood, alongside double award-winning podcaster and the man whose Twitter giveaways have since been dwarfed by Don Jazzy, Mr. IBK Sports. Next up, the plug for distribution, and of course, he moves music, Mr. A&R Olakunle Rufai. And last but not the least, the man whose alias is widely sought after, and of course, joining us for the first time in 2025 is senior Baba Femi Shosonya, aka FX. Good to see you, gentlemen. Yeah. Happy International Workers' Day to everyone. It's great to see everybody. I like the OVO shirt, right? Toronto. Is that a direct Drake signing? Is that a direct from...
Yeah. Well, they say anything Drake puts his hands on is always bad luck. So maybe I'm going to bring bad luck to...
No, at all.
No, I don't want them to make the final for sure.
Right. But...
no go jinx them, I beg you.
Amen.
No, it's great to see you, FX. This is first time in 2025, yeah?
Yeah, in a long time. You guys...
Even last year.
It
was not here last year.
No, FX is... we have to manage our...
This accusation to the producer.
We have to manage our senior citizens.
You come here last year at all now.
Maybe once or twice.
Yeah. Abike, why did you come late today?
Very good.
I know they always come late. Condition. Condition.
Abike, one at a time.
It was something that was beyond me.
By the way, Abike is house hunting. So, if you have an apartment that, that you're not using again.
Mainland or
please. Anyway, Abike will take it.
I know we stay island. Mainland I stay.
You get, Abike, don't they follow talk all this kind of things. I know if you stay island. If they give you house of banana, take her.
Banana, why I not go take him?
You get stop all this. People stop all this.
I go call Rufai, me can enjoy small. Before I send down, go back mainland.
But you're looking for a place. Rufai looked for a house for 1 year, so it's not funny. FX, I think you won't move out for your house. I won't move into your house.
No, I'm there for another 5 years, I hope.
Oh man,
Rufai my house. So if you check in this thing for Shana True Caller, agent Daniel in name now.
Luckily, Rufai looking for properties. Properties.
That's content right there. You can actually do every time you're going house hunting. Yeah. Do a video show. As in build it over.
Now you go tired, bro.
You go tired.
You don't lie for that, even me for my phone, I get like 10 already, bro.
Some agents go slap phone cover your hand.
10 small now. I can give you. I will give you consultation. At least. Even say I don't find house, it don't reach 6 months now. I can give you at least 20 agents from this phone now.
Yeah. But
I've deleted some.
Consultation fees for sure.
Yep. Someone said, all the guy might be the first man we sacrifice to the gorilla, because
fans are very crazy.
But I don't know. What do you guys make of the entire? I don't know how some things just catch fire, but how did this 1,000? One gorilla with 100 men start? Anybody have an idea where it started from?
I just saw it.
Somebody tweeted.
I just
saw it just from random thoughts.
Yeah, somebody tweeted. I saw the tweets. I'm trying to figure out if that was the originating tweet.
I think it was a random tweet.
Yeah, it was just something random.
And everybody else picked up.
Probably the person was seeing a movie or something.
Yep.
But what do you think?
I'm trying. I think there was another context. I'm trying to remember.
Forget the origin.
We don't leave that one. Move on.
What do you think?
That was the first
100 versus one gorilla.
I don't know, man. I don't think.
Not normal human beings. For me,
no weapon.
No weapon, but put trained fighters.
But you have the weapons. You can't.
No weapons, but put trained fighters.
Now you have
trained fighters. Yes.
Now you have.
But he will still kill a lot.
No, you kill a lot.
Now you have.
I would have killed a lot.
I don't think that the 100 men will survive. 100 men is a lot of people, but
at least 15 will be scared.
No, like 40 will go.
But because once you are in the
Don't
fight,
even run.
Once you are in the fight, it is what happens. You are scared once you see one person die, and not just the fact that they die, but the manner with which they've been killed,
ripped apart and stuff.
It's all those things you have to factor it in. Some of the 100 people will run away.
Trained
fighters. This is like
choose your trained fighters.
Well, even if you are a trained fighter, you run away. Some of them will still run away.
Aikido, wrestlers.
So I think there are places you can.
And even if you are trained, even if you are a trained fighter, I don't think because the gorilla guy is ready to fight to the death. That's the first.
So again, let me come in here.
100 plenty.
I think the 21st century man is incapable of doing it. Right. The men from the 16th century.
Yeah, yeah,
even to go far, you're going too far. The guys from the 16th century, the Romans, they can do it.
This is Sparta.
Those guys, the Spartans,
all those kinds of things. I just go for in balls or something.
Somebody said,
come on the balls.
Naturally,
people plenty as they focus on 1 or 3 people. You go to target the balls. Just find we come out them once.
So naturally, somebody said the gorilla is not even.
As they touch the ball, like, you just carry your hand. You go come out your hand. Then you go just see your hand don't detach from your body.
Somebody said the gorilla is not built to fight. It's not built to have that much.
When they test this,
exactly. You go tired. You have to be strategic.
When you look at the mass of the gorilla, it's like you can even tire it out by just running around it. And I thought that was interesting because if you look at the mass of the gorilla, how long can it go for trying to fight how many people? So the person was like, you can even tire this guy out by just running around.
I saw something similar too. Someone said that don't ever underestimate a human being. Human beings that's why we're top of the food.
Again, it's strategy.
If you're just strategic, people will die. But after a while, people die, like, okay, you start noticing it. This guy is actually getting tired.
Yeah.
Okay, let's keep pushing him around and maybe we'll get something.
But the thing is also, you can't underestimate the power of fear.
Bro.
As you see now.
Again, that's why it has to be. That's why it has to be. That's why
I think 100 trained fighters.
100 warriors, they take him down.
Maybe 40 will go. Maybe 40 will go.
Don't forget warriors, they use weapon.
No. We're taking judo, aikido, wrestler, boxer. No weapon.
About Jet Li, Jackie Chan in their prime.
No weapons. That was the original.
No stick or anything.
If there's no weapon, the skill where they get is nullified. If there's no weapon against gorilla, no.
It's
gone.
Because it's like you
eating
Jet Li.
For it to make sense. What did
Jet Li, Jackie Chan.
His impact.
Van Damme.
You are not getting the point. His impact.
Bruce Willis.
You see this IP man.
Chuck Norris.
What did you talk?
Wait, now relax. You see that IP man movie. You don't say na movie. Say that real life.
But don't worry, all
those punch where Donier receive.
You know those punch you say they go punch you. They go.
You be now imagine that.
But don't worry.
You be now imagine that a 5-year-old kid they punch you. Just imagine which impact it go make.
The trade fighter.
That's how it is now. No impact, bro.
And that's the end.
Baba, 100 men no be 5-year-old children.
No, they got near the gorilla to make.
Baba, the size of a gorilla alone save, bro.
Weapon, they got near the guy.
Bro,
and that's the end.
you know they see Jelly do Tai Chi.
Jelly go near gorilla get it lights.
Jelly they replay him moves. They go repeat him moves again. You know do well. Gorilla go wait when you repeat moves.
If you're a fast kung fu fighter.
If they slap
move.
You get slap out.
But if they say okay, maybe they carry maybe stick or something.
No stick, of course not.
They can't get weapon. If they get weapon and they be trained fighters,
no, but there was a time Mike Tyson requested to fight a gorilla.
Okay, maybe you carry 98 trained fighters, then 2
silverback gorilla. He gave the
98 trained fighters, then just 2 babalawo bad jazz men. Maybe 1 from Africa, 1 for for Brazil, or maybe now waiting on the call. Gypsies jazz.
Baba, you don't watch Taboo. Tom Hardy like 10. Don't kill that guy.
Havoc.
Now. Because fighter go still try save himself.
Taboo was crap actually.
No,
Havoc too was crap.
Everything that has Tom Hardy in it.
I beg you,
it's meant to be good, right?
Yeah. No, so Taboo was
Havoc was rubbish.
Havoc was good.
No way.
No. The problem was they tried to make it gory, like they tried to make it,
rubbish,
and that didn't look good. But the movie itself,
have you seen Taboo?
It was good. No.
Have you seen Taboo?
I think I have.
Taboo is not bad, but
Tom Hardy.
Yeah, Tom Hardy. Yeah, Taboo is not bad.
Is it a show?
Oh, it's a TV series. Like it has historical context, which is great. it has a bit of the what's the word? It has a bit of the Igbo landing, the story. Even though they tweaked the year, because the Igbo landing happened in 1803, right? The story which they centered around was in 1804, right? And
done a lot of research.
The British, the Indian company, something like that. So I actually understand better the Royal Niger Company, and that's how those companies were called by that, you know. So it has that historical context, but they tried to go a bit too voodoo, you know, things like that. But yeah, anyways.
But Mobland is good.
Mobland is good. Mobland is going to be good.
I'm just sad
it's going to be good.
Out. I just wanted.
They just keep releasing one.
Yeah, releasing like one season one.
Where are you watching Mobland? What platform?
Don't say.
No,
why you not go say?
That crazy warrior. Where are you watching? No,
on Netflix.
I'm watching it on the same place that I'm watching it
on my TV screen.
Yes.
The platform.
On my TV.
That's it.
The platform.
That's it. The platform.
That's the right one. Don't try it, I beg
you. You see how
the arrest person.
You see how one gorilla versus 100 men take go viral for the whole world. Premier League players don't use that to content. Relax, so.
You know.
But yeah, on Netflix,
all of us use Netflix too. You know, someone say Peking way greet me. You know, I tell her how far. I never get ready for this old age thing. And this I related to this thing because people greet me and be like, bro, Safa, how you doing now? You get like whether they're a child or I'm like, Safa, how you doing now? That kind of thing. I'm like, I mean, you are the OG, right? Do you get to a point where you have to be a bit more conscious of answering younger people? I think that was just that,
I mean, I think my own is just over time hanging out with friends and understanding that it's what's up here really matters. It's not about your age or whatnot. But it don't spoil now,
Yeah, some people take it for granted.
Yeah, and you could be walking on the street. I mean, I'm very like, I don't know how to explain it, but I like it when there's mutual respect. So you're walking on the road. And these kids are coming from school, for example. Baba, you go come on road for them these days.
Of course.
Unlike before, once you see someone older than you just give them a bit of... These ones, they will match you, then go step you. And there's nothing like...
There's genuine lapse in...
The values are going somehow.
Like now.
Yeah. Someone said, I got a whole baby, say, looking at them, so you know how they say, I said, I got a whole baby. Someone just gave me a choice, I got a whole baby. And someone said, have you ever seen half of a baby before? He's like one of the worst in book I tell you is it's always the last place you look. You find something, you're looking for something. It's always the last place you look. He say why the hell would I keep looking for something if I found it already? It's always the last place I look. If I've seen it here, why would I keep looking for it here? Who says stupid shit all the time? He say I caught it cold.
The internet.
Why can't you just let it go?
So why can't you just let it go?
The internet.
So internet is crazy, man. But I think that some of the things that I resonated well with this week was about the 17-year-old, Lamine Yamal. We'll talk about him shortly. But a babe tweeted and said, I love a man who does exactly what he says, he's going to do. And someone replied and said, "This tweet is about money. This tweet is about sending money. There's no going forward and going backward.
Yes.
You know that when they say a reward for good work is more work.
Yeah.
You see, with babes, it's like the reward for being kind is more billing.
Bro,
it's unbelievable. Like,
bro, once you start,
you can. You see that you were talking about that day that as I just meet you, we say, that money I'm spending is sign-on fee. Don't be say it day like that. Relax. But you know how you can meet someone and we are just meeting for the first time or whatever, and you do the barest minimum.
Yeah.
Or we're sitting somewhere. Obviously, there's going to be food, however small.
Right.
It's going to be drinks, however small, and then you realize that just cascades into consistent billing, and I'm like, how? And
it's poverty.
I think the worst part of it, right?
The
worst part of it is they tried it, but I think it hasn't worked. And it's credit to a lot of men on social media as well.
Yeah.
They tried a campaign of trying to gag men complaining about too much bills, right? So where the campaign of is usually those of them that don't have money that will be complaining. So they tried the campaign of gagging men who complain about.
But not be only babes be this thing, right? Normally, if you show love to, bro, okay, let me give you an example. If you show love to like a random person, which a person just need help, and you just transfer like 10K. just wait for probably one week or 2 weeks.
Do you
that
experience
problem
that
will
with your
come.
giveaways that you do on Twitter, on X?
Yeah, people. The thing is that they
when
always
you do
come
this-
back.
What I said is
Exactly.
They always come
What I
back.
said
Like
is
It's talking from experience, more or less.
what I said is true, but the context is different.
Thank you.
Like with the guys, for example, that would always come back and say, "Oh, they want to." Most of the time, you see, there are possibly guys, or maybe you are on your street, you show somebody love, and then they want to.
Oh, this is feeling.
You get they now want to. The context is different. With babes, it comes even with people that you maybe just meet someone and you think you guys are cool and maybe you guys are friends, and it starts getting into it's supposed to be a natural thing.
No, but on the real though,
Like
on the real though,
something.
I'll shout out to some of the real babes that I've met.
No, there are
Some real babes hold you down, you know.
No, there are some.
Like after a couple of times, you know, maybe you go out this time, they'll tell you straight up. They'll be
Let's
like,
go
next
Dutch.
one is on me, man.
Yeah.
Or let's
No,
go
that's-
Dutch.
They'll tell you next one is on me.
There are some like
Or
that.
they'll even tell you let's go Dutch.
Let's go Dutch.
There are some like that, but
one that I even
also
respect as well.
At some point, I started looking at it like I don't blame them too much. I still blame them because you still have to use your sense.
Luckily,
But it's because of
peer
the
pressure.
economy.
no, now we start them. Now we
Men.
cause them because men
Peer
no go
pressure.
want me.
Now,
You person
see,
like you now. If babe says she won't pay,
So
the
if
thing where
if
you
babe
do,
says she
don't
won't
come
pay,
take her talk, say that-
which wetin
No.
I do?
Nah,
Wetin I
no,
do?
that one,
If
that's
babe
not
says
even
she
what I
won't
want
pay
to
your
say.
bill,
Like
you
you,
go
wetin-
green.
No, I want to
You
say
go
peer
green.
pressure.
Waiting be say waiting.
If woman says
Peer
she won't pay
pressure.
your bill,
No vex.
if
Listen
woman
to this guy.
una gotta go eatery, una chop finish, do everything, and she won't run the bills. Shey you go green normally.
Why not?
Why
not?
Why not?
The thing where
Everybody-
you don't want to take her talk, say
everybody
that-
No, why
Baba,
not?
you don't go
Men,
green.
because I'm talk say IBK.
IBK, now you.
No,
Baba,
say
you
that.
Tell me, say I don't
Baba,
go
you
green.
don't
Where
go
I was going
green.
with my own
You don't
peer
go
pressure
green.
Please give me one babe tomorrow, make it.
Where I was going with peer pressure is the guys themselves.
Yeah.
So I think that generational thing. There was a time where impressing the woman was taking her out to dinner or making her go cinema or whatever, and that's fine. But
That's
there are
cinema
other
wey
guys
talk.
with their strategy now. The first day they meet, they don't the issue
Yeah.
just to impress because they do not have.
Yeah.
They don't
You
have
have reason.
the-
Vocal
They don't have that.
I don't.
They
This
don't
is
have
slangs.
that.
I don't know that.
So-
They
The
don't have
vocal
race,
abilities.
They don't have the qualities to
punchlines.
have
Yeah.
proper conversations.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
different. You can skip from different. So they use money as the base.
Sharp.
Yeah.
And the number of guys that seen it work,
And it's
those guys-
faster anyways.
It's faster.
It's,
And
it's the
Yeah.
and
fastest.
you know what? I don't want to talk.
It's the fastest actually.
So the guys self don't influence the thought process of these babes to where they this thing.
I agree.
I think
I agree.
this is
So
where
I
this is
think-
where I prefer this.
If you haven't said
I
it,
prefer
if
this.
you don't say anything on this podcast again, you know, this insight is invaluable. Someone said, you know, due to inflation, my love will not be costing something. You know, love
don't cost it.
So they will stop that. Say, you did your boyfriend house, you know, he bill me when I want use my money cook stew.
Amen.
I know. We post picture yesterday. I see the picture. You know, when I want use my money cook stew.
That
Like,
time when I be asking you out, you talk say you get boyfriend. Now you're believing.
now you're billing.
What happened to that your boyfriend?
You think what happened?
you don't buy, you don't buy.
One of the wildest things I saw this week was a babe tweeted and said, I once told my husband I needed space, right? So he looked at me,
I saw that stuff, man.
you know, dead in the eye and asked me, are you sure you need this space? You know, and I said yes. Next thing I know, you know, he travels, switches off his phone for a week. His mom actually had to reach out to, you know, actually according to her, had to reach out to the guy, to the husband, and say, I bet your wife define you. You know. And someone replied and said, this can be a form of abuse. And look, I wanted to ask you guys, right, where you are on that, especially, you know, given the context. You say, you know, I want space. He said, are you sure you need this space? He said, yes. But I said, okay now. Make
I give you the space.
let me,
That's a free hall pass now.
like,
give you the space.
why you just play Bruno like that? Like,
You just gave me a pen.
just play it.
Pass.
wait, so what I always say is that the people that front this this level of forwardness really don't believe that. They really believe that they're the only ones that are feeling claustrophobic. You know, because I think that many times we're all claustrophobic, but you know,
Yeah, you
maybe
don't
in a
think
home
that,
training,
this is what I
or
signed up
I sign
for.
off. I sign up for this thing. You know, so. You know, and if you know yourself well, you realize that it's a phase I'm going to get out of it. You know,
bro.
it's not because your wife is not as pretty as she is or whatever it is. I mean, living in Nigeria alone, right, is claustrophobic enough, right? Never mind, you know, with somebody and everything like that. So sometimes you drive on the reason and says, it choke. I feel like I need some air. Somebody come say, I'm like, bro, I think the wrong thing is to actually front up like that because it is almost, my perspective is almost selfish. Right?
Not
And
almost.
it's almost a bit selfish. And I appreciate
you guys
the,
are responsible for each other.
you feel me? You get, so you need a little bit of space.
So what the guy did was selfish.
No, the lady asking for space, I think is
So I don't think
is
what
very
I don't
it's
think
quite
what he said is
selfish.
wrong. I honestly don't think
No, it's
asking
wrong.
for space is wrong. It's probably the communication that's wrong.
That's what I'm saying.
No be relationship.
That's what I'm saying.
So,
no be relationship.
no, you can
Na marriage.
need space in marriage.
No, marriage now, marriage and relationship too
You
now.
can need space in marriage. In fact, I
Same
prefer
thing.
Marriage and relationship
Yes,
now. You
in
get
fact, no be relationship will need there. I prefer a situation where we both know that if we are feeling or thinking anything, we are able to tell each other. Like I prefer that
for
kind
sure.
of situation.
For sure.
right?
For sure.
So it is now like down to how you communicate it. So, and you see, in that particular case, I have a very strong feeling, even though we're just going off of what was tweeted.
Yeah.
There's almost going to be a context to what that guy did. Like just leaving and switching up. Because he didn't need to switch off, so he could have left and just whenever you want to talk, you can reach out.
No, she asked
But he
for the
switched off,
space
so
now.
no, you can give her space without switching
No,
off.
obviously we're looking at the story from just
what was
the
tweeted. Me, I'm
letter
just
of
saying, like,
yeah.
there's almost always going to be a contest to that thing the guy did. Because the other angle I wanted to speak about is, see that thing the guy did?
Yeah.
Somebody just got showed or treated the way a lot of babes would treat a guy in that same situation. So you see, most of the time, if you are if babes are in that sort of, every time they feel like I need a space from this thing, what comes to their mind is what I get. I just need a space.
Yeah,
I just want to detach completely. That's what comes to their mind.
mute
It
you,
never comes
they
to
stop
let's get to
communication.
why am I feeling like this? Let's
Yeah.
have a communication.
Yeah.
It never. That's also why you see a lot of. There was one video like that. One lady was talking about, because my husband didn't help me with chores. We have 4 children, and I was just drowning, and I thought about divorcing him. That's how they always think. I'm not really feeling this space right now.
Yeah.
They always think detach immediately. So they just teach them, say, okay, now like this detach, they walk.
Yeah.
Now I don't off my phone, you don't feel reach me. How it be for your body?
You know.
You know.
Yeah. I agree with that. I agree with that.
I agree.
How old are you again? Just checking because you have a lot of mileage.
Same
Old
thing when you
man
talk.
in a
Some
young body.
some people they married, their wife never wiped them in 1 year, 1.5 years, and they still did the marriage. Men, they suffer. It's not easy. But continue, my brother.
You know,
Right.
nobody fit try that one with me. Sha.
Right.
Nobody.
Yeah.
Right.
Bye they happen.
No, I
you
don't
go,
talk say they happen.
And when they
So-
when they-
You
want
What
divorce. You want
Yes.
will you
divorce.
do? What will you do?
You go divorce.
Yes.
Now lie. You still say easy. You go just because
What if you say you think say easy?
of wife. You
There
go,
might be a reason.
My brother, see, I can divorce you because of something not as serious as wife. How much more sex? Sex is sex is very, very important in a marriage. Baba, if you do say,
Why are you shouting?
if you guys don't know that's how they happen. If you do say
Okay, there
no
go.
sex in 1 month, you go to your parents' house.
Oh, brother.
If I know that you are doing it as a punishment,
Punitive, yeah.
you go to your parents' house. It will end there.
Yeah.
No. Don't try that nonsense with me.
The only thing I would say is that you see this energy where you get, right? No, go meet the baby where we say
say
now every like 3 times every day.
Now
No,
go
that's not
there.
the point.
No, I'm just banter you. You know say
If that's
Yeah,
our
so
own,
wait, make
if that's
yeah.
our own, we'll find a solution.
Oh, yeah,
That's
wetin
what I'm
make
saying.
that one
It's
come
like me
through?
now, if I come see say, okay, it's like if
Yeah.
if you can't get married to some babe where you say now 3 times every day, she even 1 time. You can't talk say, oh yeah, I know they do. Or say, you two, they try punish her with that. You are supposed to find a solution.
no, it's a you don't
Or
say
draw it
About the only
Or
solution.
find a way.
About the only solution of
Find
it
a
is
No,
solution.
timetable.
you go
Now
some
go
buy.
down on top
Because
fridge.
Because you be know before you marry her.
About the only solution we do is
No, when I do abstinence before marriage.
about
Why
you
you
go.
go do abstinence before marriage?
Right.
Don't say that
Concept,
3
If I,
times a day.
the only solution is you go later buy issue of me.
You go dry.
Oh my god! Oh,
Now you tell you for what? Say come. Oh.
this
We
email.
have not seen you. We didn't see you at the office yesterday. You go say, but I was there. And they go say, no, but you were not there.
Yeah.
Because not be you were there that office like yesterday.
Oh man, you know, but I do like so these things I actually learn from them because I think it's important to have a bit of context. But speaking of learning, one of the things I saw was the constant battle of trying to know when to use will and would, right? And someone replied, and I think this is where Twitter can be an absolute, beauty. Someone replied and said, with deals with certainties, right? Think I go in pigeon, right? So I go do I go come, I go chop, right? That's with, right? But would deals
will.
with that's will.
Yeah.
That's will.
Yeah.
So will is like I go do am, I go come, I go sleep, I go chop. But with would rather deals with hypotheticals, and that's conditional statements. Think I for instead of I go. And this is where indigenous language is just a beauty, right? So like I said, I for do am. If to say na, I for like come. And I thought this thing had like what? It had like what? Maybe 1,000 plus retweets because a lot of people just understood it. Because I see a lot of people make that mistake. Like you would.
I think it was in I was talking about indigenous language teaching and all that.
Oh, it's amazing. It's amazing.
It's better we learn indigenous this thing.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You get it easier.
Absolutely.
And faster.
I always say, for example, the market woman, right, that sells constantly on. She probably knows a lot of maths and times and division more than a lot of people in school, right?
Yeah.
Because they're dealing on a daily basis. But you see that you say, okay, what's the adjacent of this thing is opposite this thing? That's another language she doesn't understand.
Yeah,
but she knows that. I mean, you can't tell me she doesn't know that. As I did like this guy in front of me. But you call it opposite, she doesn't understand what opposite is.
Even
or adjacent.
Even down to
you get it, which is just pretty much just like this.
Even down to what she doesn't understand is divide and subtract.
Divide and subtract. What do you mean divide? What do you divide?
But bro, these people go sit down for your front.
They will give you change.
Everything where you buy is 10,000, 245 naira. Everything is.
They don't calculate.
Give me 1,000, collect 200.
Yeah.
So what that's
because they don't sabi use calculator most times.
What that's telling is that in their head, they are actually mathematical geniuses.
Right.
But
I see one skit story. Conductor won't give them change. He say you give her 300, you collect 200. All of them gonna come down. They
don't hang.
I used to hate that.
But the conductor actually.
Bro, the conductor will get down.
But guess what? He get correctly, like accurate, like. You take. Oh yeah. Give me this 200.
You now 1K.
Hold this 15 naira. Then, for a moment, you go hang first.
Yes, now see, what did this guy just do?
Hold on first.
And sometimes they get it wrong too.
No, they don't.
Some of them, maybe
you say, brother, Shani 100, I be 200 or the one with
give me.
You say bring 350 or something. Collect the 200.
System blackouts.
I best carry my.
They already boots. You could share the boots. Say what happened?
But what he actually says is that these guys they're crunching numbers real time.
Yeah, that's what you do every day. That's
crunching numbers real time. So I think that indigenous language is a great way to actually teach stuff. Someone mentioned finally that I don't surpass money where I use by phone. And bro, see,
absolutely,
100. Bro, like the subbing money is crazy.
100.
Crazy. These days I do what? Maybe 5K a week, something like that.
5K a week. You did try.
I don't want to.
I'm very with my phone.
I want to because there's no way if I go into it, I'll talk about the government. But
like it's crazy.
5K.
I've realized that I've been wasting money since on that. To be honest, just once you just have that 10, 15K that you have, just buy bulk.
Yeah,
even
that bulk.
The issue in my bulk is that FX
21 days.
FX. The issue in my box is that if I buy it, I go don't reason say I just have plenty. So I go. It's just like say the higher your income, the higher your expenditure. Do you understand? You tend to not manage it well. I don't buy bulk. We say I finish them in less than that time we supposed to finish.
My problem is now.
I still use mine
not
for
only did they increase
18
the
days
cost of the data, whatever.
You're not giving value for the data itself.
So
yeah.
The value for it now has also reduced.
Yeah, the counting. Yeah.
So if 5 gig used to work for on the same thing.
Yeah.
For like maybe 2 days, for example. Now you can use that 5 gig in like maybe 4 hours or 5 hours.
Yep.
True.
So what
I understand why.
So what I'm doing now is I'm forcing myself to leave my phone. Do you get as a cost saving mechanism.
You switch off your data.
No, I don't switch off my data. Never. I just drop it.
You just go at the same way, but they go. If you don't switch off your
background, this thing there.
You get background.
No,
that's what I do. I close
my
all those background refresh apps that I don't use often.
So, for example,
I leave the WhatsApp, the IG, and all that.
My IG, for example, if I don't open it, I can't see it.
I'm not even on TikTok anymore. Like,
TikTok is the number one data drainer in the world.
Yeah, and Snapchat. So I just.
Bro, I saw you on Snapchat. I was like, "Oh, what are you doing there?"
Bro,
I just see
my brother put pressure on me.
He just tell me, say, Baba Femi,
you have
it's
to
on
be
Snapchat.
Snapchat. Yeah, I'm like, okay,
I'm like,
let's be doing this. Let's try.
I'm like, what's Femi doing here?
I'm just just having fun. I don't even know how to use the app.
I don't know how to use it to, it's crazy, right?
It's lovely.
It's fun.
But I don't know if you saw the Ministry of Interior's, tweets. They go post porn.
They repost.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yeah,
I saw that.
Serious.
Reposted porn.
When be that?
It can happen.
I was like, bro, just get a separate phone.
Don't
Man.
carry it away.
Handler don't enter.
No, they don't.
Just get separate phone, man. You know,
It can happen to anybody.
bro.
Now I.
Well,
Speaking of which,
I want to just say this last
Tell
time.
me.
You know when BlackBerry was raining that year? You know when you put your music
My God.
to share?
My God.
Hold on.
Oh, I used to love that.
So I was,
My God.
and you know everybody can
Profile
see your
watching.
music.
My
Wait,
God.
see, let me finish.
X,
So
X.
we were in the office, so I'm not going to call the name of the office, but it's in VI here, and in a tech company. And this guy is a geek. Now, proper geek, we say if they find out how to even talk to woman and all those kind of things.
Over level.
And we just see, because we've shared pains and all
Yes,
that, we
sir.
just see.
Watching.
Watching.
We cannot talk in name. Sorry, I was about to say his name.
Maya Khalifa,
Watching
Julia-
Maya Khalifa doing this.
XXX.
Julia.
The whole both girls,
Mandingo.
both babes, guys, female, male for office, plus or guys, everybody saw it. But you see what's this guy? Why did you go and put that thing on?
So the thing is,
Was later when that was what opened my eye. I was like,
you have to go and
eh.
switch it off.
Yeah.
Always.
It's always on.
It's
You
always-
have to go and switch it off by yourself.
No, when you want people to see the
What you're
music
playing, you know,
but
you're-
people didn't know that if you're playing even that
Yes,
one
that's
too,
If you are watching videos or anything, it's going to
it will
show.
show.
No, I actually used to love that because people will buzz you and be like, I like your music, send it to me. Like,
Nice.
you have good taste in music.
Not knowing that if you are doing the other one.
Yep. You say, when it's time for the person owing you money to return the money and they start recording voice notes. You guys know
Well, I don't do.
That's 100%.
you just say, how far Tuesday don't reach? You just see voice notes. That's like, goddamn.
Person would never
Come on, explain the
respond.
gist. Give
God
me.
damn.
Always giving you
And I don't
voice
really
notes.
like voice notes. I
Goddamn.
don't really like voice notes. I
Bro.
don't like voice notes.
Calls in call.
Very rare. I don't like
I
calls.
really don't like voice notes.
Bro, I don't like anything like that. You see, phone. I don't see.
That's why on
I just
that
don't
on that
have a
proposal,
choice.
I beg, remove a revised number because I just think I say
I just don't have a choice. No, if you call me and it's a number I don't know, I'll pick. Except I know, maybe I know the say one person already disturb me with this number. If it's a number I don't know, I'll pick. Because I have a lot of things I'm doing now. So if you say person they call me for money,
I don't like calls.
but I don't like
honestly.
voice notes, man.
I don't
I
like
feel they
calls.
for chat. Sometimes I feel my younger sister feel buzz me. She don't they record voice notes. I say no, send chat. No,
I love calls.
no record voice notes.
Yeah. But it's been a great week, and I had to announce and also say that. Well, not announce, but also say that we hit 70K, followers on TikTok, and that is really special. Thank you so much. The goal is actually to reach 100,000 followers before December.
Impressive.
Actually, the goal is actually to reach 100,000 followers before September, before the Ember months really start. So, thank you so much. I think we started this year on 50K, something like that on
less.
TikTok,
It was less.
or even less.
Yeah.
So, the jump you guys actually made.
On TikTok. We're more than 50 something.
If it's something there about, yeah. So I'll say,
April just ended, my brother.
yeah. So really nice, and happy start to everybody. Who's celebrating. So here's to more milestones, and I don't know what Instagram is doing. Instagram keeps taking our followers away. So one time we're on 2021, Instagram keeps chopping it away, and all that stuff. But YouTube, we're looking to get to let's cross that 10K. But I mean, we're gonna do 10K this week thereabout, hopefully. Maybe we're
I think
maybe
it's on 9.9 now.
something like that, but we actually need to go to like 20K. That's where I feel like, and I've got to say that you guys actually track the views maybe as much as even more than we actually do, because someone mentioned that finally you guys are doing 1K views in 4 hours, something like that, which is really special. So thank you very much for that. You guys are absolutely the very best. Sometimes you guys remind Wole to go on Spotify and edit something that the voice or audio is not good, so we really appreciate all that. It is special.
I should have been part of this project. From
It is special. It is special.
Why did you remove me?
You're part of the project.
They're busy now. They will call you.
Which one are you talking? I'm saying the business plan from the beginning.
You're
You know
too
you be
busy.
for 2013.
You're
I don't know
too
you
busy.
since now.
2013.
They don't rush me.
I don't know. You were in the usually the pundits. I be
whatever the case may be, I should have been part of this.
No, but you're part of
it. This man no supposed day.
Believe me, you believe. Believe you me, right? Believe you me. You know, we have a largesse. We have largesse. You share inside it.
You guys have done well. From organic to
very organic.
I'm still going to Yabio later.
I think that
for that wedding.
No, this is the Monday. This is the Monday.
Yeah. The wedding MCP that I linked you up with.
No.
You should have called me for me to give you insight and all that, but I'll tell you after the show.
Oh, really? It didn't happen now. Eventually.
I know it didn't happen.
Right.
And I know why it didn't happen. But
right. You guys are sharing contact. Anyway, we're gonna start today's show. Well, let me leave that AC on, please. Yeah, make it when you're on and back. Thank you. Right.
Thank you, Walls.
So let's start off with a conversation I think is pretty much maybe the most important to have at this point in time, because you watch football for a long time. You've been seeing the game for at least 2 decades and things like that. All of us here
more
combined,
3,
even more.
Close 3, yeah.
Right. Have you ever seen?
There's
Close to 3.
Have you ever seen a 17-year-old better than Yamal? I want it because I've been thinking about it since Wednesday night, right? And it became pertinent to stop and take notes, which is what I always try to do. What are we looking at? What are we witnessing here? Because as we've seen Kylian Mbappe, I've seen Wayne Rooney play at a very early age.
16.
We've seen Lionel Messi. We've seen Cristiano.
Yeah.
And
R9.
Those were all special players. So all special players. We saw them and we like what we witnessed here was special. What are we looking at with this kid, Yamal? Because I'll tell you what, when I see the kid, do what he's doing, the biggest credit I give him is his understanding of the game, right? Absolutely. And this is even a different conversation from his talent level. So I want to speak about the talent is quite obvious. I think that is quite, everybody can see that for sure. Yeah. But it's just the understanding of I can do this here and now. Okay, I have to. If I do this here, this is the consequence of that. We can decide this game in this next 10 minutes, that kind of thing. And I just find that from an all-round perspective, so understanding of the game, talent level, physicality at 17, I don't know that I have seen a player that is that complete. I really, see Kylian Mbappe a couple of years ago. Kylian Mbappe was a speed monster, knocked out Man City and things like that. When Rooney is probably the one. Rooney had a lot of physicality and heart, at 16 thereabout. Messi was just, you could tell that something was coming.
Yeah, we knew it was coming.
Something was coming, right? But I don't know that Messi could decide those games that early.
No, he couldn't.
What is that down to?
No.
So
Sorry.
I think that one of the reasons is, and that's why we need to be with Messi, for example. So Yamal has arrived, I think, at the best time for him to be able to wear this crown of best 17-year-old or best 16-year-old we've seen in a long time, because Barcelona had to throw him in. There were no real options. Talents coming through. There were no real options. So they had to throw him in. He's very talented. When Messi was coming through, they had a little bit of time to say, okay, let's transition him gradually. We had Ronaldinho, Deco, and all of these people in the team. We can transition him gradually. He can come into the team whilst Ronaldinho was still there.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of pressure on him. It wasn't really Messi's job when the first time he came in with Ronaldinho going to carry the team.
True.
With Yamal, from the day when they bring him in, there wasn't really a lot of talent. There wasn't really a lot of talent abound for Barcelona. So in that regard, he's carrying from day one. He has been carrying a lot more responsibility than Messi did in that same Barcelona team. But talent level, obviously, we can't say he was better. Or he's better than Messi at that time, because we knew what Messi could do. It was just the difference in responsibility. Then when you look at Mbappe, I think just sheer talent, you possibly have to place Yamal a little bit above Mbappe. But in terms of like what they did on the field, it's very similar. Mbappe, with Monaco at the time, not the biggest club, right?
Exactly.
But they came through, and he had young players around him as well. Maybe just a handful of.
Bakayoko,
all of them were young.
That's it, yeah.
Silva,
Bernardo
Fabinho.
Silva,
Fabinho, all of them were young, and they did what they did at the time. So I think in terms of like what they did on the pitch, probably apart, but talent level, what you can do with the football, possibly have to put Yamal, just a little over that.
So
and then
you're a Barcelona fan. You're going to go last. You're
when
the one that will say it properly.
And then when
You're going to go last.
And then when you speak of Rooney, my God. It's just the ball manipulation, dribbling and everything that I would see Yamal ahead of Rooney. But in terms of like what a kid can do, because and you have to also understand, Rooney came through in the Premier League at a time when people's legs like
proper ballers.
If you saw the clips back, you are wondering how did this footballer survive that time?
Hat-trick in the first Champions League game. Free kick.
I just saw a clip of when they broke Diaby's leg against Sunderland. How did they allow these tackles? This guy should be banned for 2 years at least.
Let's talk of
why they changed
the early
rules,
90s and 80s.
You understand? So for Rooney to come in at the time, playing for Everton, and you come into a game against United or something, and
was
attempt
Arsenal.
to score from.
Was Arsenal he scored against Seaman?
I think I was watching the overlap and
you understand?
Arsenal,
So his
Seaman.
talent level,
Yeah.
his mental level at that level. So I can't put Yamal above him. But in terms of like ball manipulation, dribbling, that's why I would say Yamal is.
That's hold on a sec, IBK. You go last. That's why. That's
Barcelona guy. I don't tell you.
That's why.
the
That's why I started. Trust me.
Yeah, the icing on the cake.
You
man.
go last because you can't have the insights. You can't look at it from
you can't look at it from a very objective.
from a different perspective, right?
See,
So I have
I don't talk with you.
in thinking about you are slubbing on it.
Oh my God! Please, just let's go.
In thinking about this topic, I basically thought about the different. Because everybody's talking about talent. Talent is quite obvious. I can see that from a mile away.
Yeah.
Right. And I tell you what, Ansu Fati has a lot of talent as well.
Yeah.
Right.
Had a lot of talent.
Boyan had a lot of talent as well. So when you're looking at young players, the talent is going to be the most obvious thing. Right. But to be a football player, an elite football player, the talent is maybe the least thing that's important.
Yeah.
Right. So that's why I approach it from and Rufai makes a good point because I was watching Overlap and I think it was Gary Neville who said that if Rooney had not been injured, they would have won that Euros or that one of those major tournaments, something like that. And it was a unanimous acceptance from most English players, which were older than Rooney, that if they had him in the team,
Greece one?
they would have won.
Sorry.
The tournament Greece.
They would have won.
Yeah.
They would have won the one he got injured in.
Yeah.
I think he got injured in the last game of the season, something like that. And
They
he
rushed
just
him back.
showed that
They managed him back.
they managed him back. So I think that in terms of consequence and affecting a game, we've seen this before.
Yeah.
Right. But you wanted to what are we looking at?
My own is you have to look at, since Opta and data started running, you have to look at it from the amount of games youngsters play. We've seen what's that guy at Blackburn that year that it was called the mini David Beckham, David Bentley, if I remember.
Yeah. Really,
So exactly. When you start very young,
Bentley was so talented.
Exactly, but you see, he dipped.
Yeah.
The consistency that you have to put in as a youngster is incredible. So it's enough for you to have one good season and you can just disappear in the next 2.
So let's count it now. Yamal has done it for
100 games.
So this is
That's a lot.
This is second season, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Second
second
season.
Second
So
season, right?
100 games as a 17-year-old is a lot compared to Messi and Ronaldo, who are
it
the
is.
major guys. They barely made 30 games. And the amount of goals Yamal has scored and the assists and all, and the maturity in his game. He was 16 at the Euros and won, and became 17 at the Euros and still won. And he was very influential. He was the best young player, but really, he was more or less one of the best players in that tournament. So my point is, playing that amount of games just shows you that it's beyond talent now. He's very professional, and you can tell that he's ready to at least work and get better and better. But the thing now is, the truth is, as a youngster, you need to protect them. That's where Flick and the Spanish national team coach Fuente
Fuente.
De La Fuente.
De La Fuente has to protect him.
I do think
He can get injured. That too many games can mess up those kind of guys. So that's the thing. They need to manage him well.
Yeah, it's a good point you make because Rooney finished at 20. Rooney was done at 28.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was going to go
too many games.
Yeah, Rooney was done. Okay, grand entry. You know,
I would have compared him to Pele because Pele won the World Cup at the age of 17.
you didn't watch Pele, so you can't compare. You can't
But
You saw
compare Pele.
videos.
But I saw
We're talking about
videos.
what
I
you
saw
see. You
videos.
I've seen videos of Martial as well.
Exactly, you can't
bro.
do.
You watch videos of Martial, you think that Martial
you can't
is
do justice to the wholesomeness of a player's talent by just watching.
But okay.
You can just say, oh, they're very good at this.
you can't, for example, from clips, you can't tell game understanding.
Yes, now.
So normally when you meet a coach, especially now that we are involved in scouting and all those things, what they tell you is that they always find schoolboy errors when they deal with young talents. So like you can't call yourself probably 16-year-old and be making crosses of way Beckham they do normally.
Yeah.
You can't call yourself 16-year-old and not do some errors when you are playing games. So when you watch Lamine Yamal, I think that what that guy has got for himself, apart from the talent he has, is the fact that he's so confident. I've never seen a kid that kids are naturally shy. Kids are naturally, let me just do, like you watch Messi, you watch Ronaldo, they do their thing and they are all fit. Bro, this guy would tweet that like against Madrid, something is popping. That's madness. He's 16-year-old, bro.
17-year-old now.
It's still crazy. The confidence level
is 17 is 17. I know every time we can't go for it, they can't go back.
You can't
go. It's 17 now.
Rooney was not this confident at that age.
No, you like.
Rooney was just aggressive.
There was no social media.
Rooney was just aggressive.
You need to be. Do you think aggression just comes from fly? The things Rooney was doing at that age.
When he scored that trick in Champions League.
And we're talking about a time that was very hostile.
I think it was 18. Bro,
this guy won Spain the Euros at age 16.
He didn't win Spain the Euros. I'm sorry.
He didn't win Spain. He was one of the most important players for Spain.
Yeah,
but he didn't win Spain.
Without his impact, they are not going anywhere.
Same way without Rodri,
without Olmo, they don't win as well.
Morata, Rodri were very important.
So this is something, and this is why I like. I mean, so this podcast is
all of them were very important.
For all the right reasons. This podcast centers itself, in a very niche space. But one of the reasons I like speaking to you guys on a weekly basis is that you can dispel some of the more bandwagon opinions, right, on this table. And I have seen a bit of I think credit, you give credit where credit is due. I have no problem with that. But Yamal didn't win Spain the Euros.
No,
right.
You can't say he won the Euros.
Take him out of that.
They still win the Euros.
No, they don't.
So here's the thing.
Okay. Hold on.
Let's not drift. I would like to say something. Go on.
If you take Rodri out,
do they win it?
Do they win the Euros?
I think they will.
No.
Oh yeah, no. Moving on.
It's fine.
Ballon d'Or.
I don't have anything to say.
He was the best player in the tournament.
Rodri
was the best player.
No drift.
Don't worry yourself. Leave IBK. You know what he did.
Yeah.
Go for it. Can I just add one thing? I realized I didn't give him adulations. This is where I'm with IBK. The truth is, yes, the boy is very confident, and you can see the trajectory from last year at the Euros to now.
Yeah.
You can see him more, dancing on social media. He's very confident. It doesn't look like he's distracted in any way. But the truth is, Yubi said it perfect, and that's what I wanted to say. That's why I didn't say it earlier. He's the most complete 17-year-old I've seen as a footballer in a long time. Yes, I watched a lot of tapes of Pele. My dad had VHS tapes of Pele, so I watched documentaries and whatnot. Even the movie that he did with Sylvester Stallone. I'm trying to remember the name of the movie. If the guys in the comment section can remind us, but that was also a very good movie. I think Michael Caine was in that.
Michael Caine is a top actor.
Oh, yeah. The level of what Pele did at 17 in a World Cup.
Yeah.
It was hard to be matched for
of
so
course.
long.
I don't think anybody.
Kylian Mbappe in 2014 when they won.
And
how old was Mbappe?
18. It was
18.
18. It was 18. So that was and Mbappe did it again in the final against Argentina last year.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, 2 years ago.
So that's why.
3 years ago, sorry.
That's why when I
scored
spoke
2
about
goals.
Mbappe, I said.
So that mentality thing, no doubt.
When I spoke about Mbappe, I said maybe ball manipulation, dribbling, and all that, I can put Yamal above him. But in terms of what they did,
impact,
on the field, is because what Mbappe did at the World Cup, you have to also understand.
Clutch. That's where he's the clutch player.
As big as club football and Champions is,
the World Cup
is cultural. It's deep. He's deep in, homes and everything.
Watch my boy next year.
Exactly.
Watch my boy next year.
I feel that boy is going to show
Watch my boy next year.
What he did in the Euros, that was just
that boy didn't play.
Next year.
That boy no be anybody
what
meet.
I was going to say now is,
of course, now
not be anybody meet for
I think he should be confident.
I feel born the boy now.
He's exceptionally good. His talent level is crazy. But just to add to say, he needs to be protected. He needs to be protected on the football side of things. That is given. But I also understand, what are you going to do? He's that good. Nobody better than him. If he doesn't play, the team misses him a whole lot. They're not the same if he doesn't play.
Facts.
So what are you going to do? Are you going to keep him on the bench because you're trying to protect him? So I understand that as well. But what they absolutely have to do is, you see that interview he gave, that they can't tell me anything because I'm winning now. If they beat me, then they can speak to me. That's what I think they need to protect him against. That's the one I think they need to protect him.
Overconfidence.
He's confident.
Why?
You see, it's a thing. If you have lived life, you know. There's something you don't put into the universe. You're gonna disagree and
this guy lives a thug life normally, bro. Do you know? Have you seen?
That boy played futsal more or less. The way he plays football is almost like
this is a lifestyle.
What the hell do you mean this guy lives? IBK.
No, you can't see. You are
right?
saying that the statements he makes might affect him, which is very wrong. I disagree.
It's possible. It's possible, but then again, they need to protect him.
But brother, you want to defend Yamal, I know, but listen to what I'm saying first. I didn't say what I said. They need to protect him. Don't use the words
protect him from making statements. Now
the reason they have to protect him,
adults now.
PR. He's not yet an adult.
The reason they have to protect him from
18 when he's an adult when he's 18.
You get
5 years ago he was 12 years old, man. Guys, in 2020 when COVID started, this boy was 12. If you see the picture,
they have to
tiny
protect
kid
him from those kind of statements is that you don't need the goodwill of the people now. You're on top. You need the goodwill. You need a bit of...
You're going spiritual, though.
Relax now. You need a bit of, let's call him some slack when things are not going well.
I'll come here and I think...
You are not going to get it. And you see, because you are a kid, you have not really experienced what it means to be down as a footballer. You have not really experienced what it means to be mentally tired.
But you also have to enjoy the moment. Look at Ansu Fati now, bro.
Nobody said you should not enjoy
the
moment.
Where is Ansu Fati day now?
Injuries kill him.
That's what I'm saying. You are on top. Maximize it. Take every advantage of it. Let people know that you're on top.
So this is what happens to street boys that make money. You understand?
You understand?
Right. Make money.
This is what happens to them.
They can manage him.
So let me spend it now. Let me enjoy that.
But they can manage him. It's PR. They can manage him. It's not too late.
That's exactly
of course.
That's what I'm saying. They need to protect him in
right.
that regard.
I think that...
You added to it. I like that.
I think that
They had money to get talent too.
In football is just football for me is a small microcosm of life, right?
Of course, it
right.
is.
And sports in general, right?
Agreed.
So I watched a lot of NBA and what's his name? The kid,
Ant.
Not Ants.
LeBron.
Not Ants. Ants. I know Ants. What's the other kid?
LeBron
The kid that had the gun. Has his gun problem. Jamarant, right? Jamarant is like what 23, 20 something like that. He's a kid, right? At least you know.
Compared to UB's age.
Yeah, I mean, he's
I can't remember. I don't know.
No, Jamarant is a kid. He's a kid. Come on, right? So Jamarant comes out. He's like the remake of Kevin Durant. Just more explosive, right? And everybody thinks this kid is going to be like or what we're looking at potentially Mount Rushmore type player, right?
Mount Rushmore.
But a couple of things happen, and this is all related with football.
Yes.
But you see what Rafai said about, and I know Rafai is being a bit, very philosophical about it, but life and football the lines are very thin. Right.
Agreed.
When you're winning,
I just feel it's still
when you're winning. Take for example, what's his name?
Call it youthful exuberance.
When Ronaldinho had the jail problem, do you understand?
Yeah.
Who would have thought? King Ronaldinho, everybody, have the jail problem.
Ignorance
you
on his
so I'm not saying that that's the case with him. You're not trying to gag the boy. But at 17, right, you need to be taught how to carry yourself. How to be a sportsman. Watch what
But guys, come on. The same guys that we mentioned the Wayne Rooney's.
Yeah.
Rooney entered enough street brawls when he was young.
No,
Again,
He was just protected by the likes of Freddie and
Rooney was very aggressive.
Was
Rooney was
you have to
Rooney was
FX,
Rooney if he beats referee said.
Listen, IBK. I don't like what
you know that's a different thing. right?
See.
I'm
When you
just
don't
saying
listen,
that
when you don't listen to
over
the problem.
time, when they get to like 21, for example,
Right.
they eventually start seeing the size of concerned.
Rooney's career was like this and this.
I need to surround myself with a good management PR
that's a
team.
different thing.
So
Rooney
started changing, for example, the likes of even when they were younger. What's his name? That played midfield. Anyway, but my point is just surround yourself with a good PR or management team.
Do you really have a
Over
disaster?
time.
Do you really have a couple of scandals in his career?
Yes, he did.
Yes, had a couple of scandals, right? So the point is that without proper guidance,
That's what protect against.
that's what
You're not going to use that.
you understand.
I'm just saying that
And
because
bear in
he's
mind
young,
also,
he still has time.
And bear in mind also,
to
there's a chance that if Rooney wasn't white, some of those scandals he never makes
Makes it out of it. I tell you what, right? Yamal is I first of all, kid is talented, so nobody's gonna stop him.
You guys
right?
fear because of all that.
Right.
That's where your
but
fear is.
he's a black kid in Europe.
Yeah, I knew that's
You
where you're
understand?
going.
But that's not even.
fear-
But
you
no,
fear
I don't.
that
No,
kind
don't make it about that. I am just saying that
I'm not saying that's the only thing, but yeah, there's that part.
when you are on top,
Generally,
right?
it's
Everybody,
generally, yes.
people are setting traps for you. They're waiting for
general
you.
in life.
It's just general in life. It's not a football thing. So
And you see, when he made the statement, I am winning, so they can't tell me anything. When they beat me, so they can speak. What that tells me is you are a kid, you don't know much.
But that's Gen Z language and even
And
the other
that's
generation.
why I
But
said
that's
how they
no
talk.
much. That's what I'm
I said
saying.
He needs to be protected.
Needs guidance.
From
You know-
the fact that
He has
he
the perfect
made that,
coaches to do
the
that,
fact that
sha.
he made that exact statement that they can't tell me anything because I'm winning now. That is telling me that you are a very small boy. You actually don't know much.
Of course,
And you
of course.
need to be
problem.
protected.
of course,
But I
Okay,
agree
why
with you. There's nothing wrong
are you
with
seeing
him
it that
at
way?
that
Why are you
youthful
seeing it that way?
experience,
But this thing now
Because if
against
you know much, you're
this-
not going to win a game against Madrid.
this thing now against
way you have
Madrid.
done it,
This thing a rivalry. This thing a bragging rights.
It's not the first to play in the El Clasico rivalry.
This thing, what he said was not out of place.
what did he say?
Now, no, you know, you're waiting talk. Now,
no.
normal bragging rights.
Listen.
We they win. Now, when we don't lose, now, if we come talk. Now, normal bragging rights.
IBK.
You don't get anything to do with
We can-
anything.
we can-
Now, Baba,
let's
if
move on.
Shane do am against Inter, do am. Now, normal Madrid back up bragging rights.
Let's move on.
It's not about this thing, Baba. More than no reason I'm that way. Madrid, they beat us steady. They talk anyhow. Allow us enjoy this moment, bro. Thank you. God bless you.
I think it's BS, but we'll move on. Right? Yeah. Yeah. I think it's BS, but
If opinion no be your own, if opinion no be your own, na BS.
no, but I think it's BS, but like if you don't get the points, you don't get the points. I can't force it down your throat.
The reason it is BS is you was talking about a kid you are saying.
Madrid.
Baba, na rivalry be this thing. Normal
Yeah.
talk. Na that boy talk.
IBK.
He no talk pass himself.
We will move on.
Na
right?
normal talk.
Fantastic, right? Thank you very much. I want to move on to we'll speak about Inter Milan in a bit, but I want to touch base with Arsenal and what you guys. I watched the game with Rufai, as we deal to the two and shout outs to him. I saw a lot of Arsenal fans, and one of the things I find is that when you haven't won constantly and you are in a position to win, the know-how might, depart from you a little bit, right? And I just saw a bit of, in the build-up to the game against PSG, I thought the approach. So let's put some things clear first. I think Arsenal lost because of Martinelli and Trossard, right? Arsenal played; it had created enough chances to win the game, right? But what I always say is that when all these things happen, right, they become very minuscule details in the game, and the game is reviewed as a whole. Do you understand? In 3 years' time, in 1 year, in two years' time, nobody goes
Remember
back and
these final
nitpick. Nobody nitpicks the game to that regard.
That's why you have to win.
So that's why you have to win. And the build up to the game, I was, the Madrid game, the build up to the PSG game, people, I make videos, tell the next person beside you, he has to do this, he has to do this, he has to do that, he has to do that. When you're in the semi-final of the Champions League, it is important to completely quieting out every single noise. I think that there's a place for fans' energy pushing you to the final, but there hasn't. I don't know that Arsenal are. I don't know that Arsenal are Man City or Chelsea who have had a quiet stadium on occasions where they need to. This is my opinion. I just sense that in the build-up to the game there was an unnecessary weight on the team. They burdened themselves with the home factor, right? Because when the game started, I saw a nervousness in Arsenal that I didn't see against Madrid.
They were cold.
They're just cold. They were just nervous. I'm thinking, you guys beat Madrid 5-1 aggregates. There should be a quietness about you. Like, we understand our strategy. And if you go back and watch the analysis I made post the Madrid game, I just said Arsenal came and said, you know what, this is our game plan. We will follow the game plan from the beginning of this game till the end of it. So whether Madrid did remontada or whatever it is, we follow the game plan. The first 15-20 minutes against PSG, I saw a different Arsenal side that was they were just jittery. I'm like, why jittery for? Now, in trying to retrace where that has come from, and I know Arsenal fans will, pound the door and, all that kind of stuff. In trying to retrace that, I find that it's the pressure they put on themselves. The videos Arteta make you can say it's the video. I don't think he needs to make it. Right.
I get you. I disagree.
I don't think he needs to make it. I think that you attain cruising altitude and you stay there. Right. You don't need to remind the fans that they need to be boisterous because the players feed off it. Right.
What's wrong with your fingers?
So in the end, I still think that Arsenal, if they quieten themselves out, they're better. They're more suited to winning the second leg.
What video was that Arteta did?
Tell the person beside you, listen.
And
that's not the reason they lost. But when you lose a game, right, against a very good team like PSG, and you are debriefing, you have to start looking at, did we create an atmosphere around the team that put the team in a place that was less likely to get that 3 points at home? It's just
I think I would kind of disagree with you on...
Disagree fully, Baba.
On build up to the game. I think what changed the whole atmosphere of the game was that early goal. To be honest, you said the first 15 minutes. That was because nobody would expect to be down so early. That's the honest truth.
But it's a football game.
That's what I'm saying. It's just you are trying to, build up into the game, develop yourself in the game, and then you concede a goal. Then you start chasing so early. Don't forget, they were going to go down and they were at home. It was normal that the pressure was going to come at them. They got their chances, they missed it. So I don't think it's based on whatever videos Arteta has made or...
Like I said,
it's
more... The video is more symbolic of... It's like you want to go to a fight. Deontay Wilder, for example, right, goes into a fight with Anthony Joshua, and the most standout thing about the night is the outfit that he has, right, and the ring walk,
like a masquerade,
and the ring walk, right. What that tells me, obviously, this is a better fighter. Fury beats Deontay Wilder 10 times if they fight 10 times, right? Except there's the unlucky knockout. But what that tells me is that you are the focus going into that. Somewhere you have maybe taken your eye in focusing on this. You may take your eye off the ball without realizing that you're taking your eye off the ball.
They did everything. They did everything
that is
well.
That is my opinion.
Why I disagree is that Arteta has always leaned into trying to get the fans going, and once he gets to Champions League knockout, everybody does it. Even in Europa League, you saw what Atletico Bilbao tried to do with their fans, before the start of the game, even though that now backfired. So everybody does it. The video he dropped, in my opinion, I don't see anything. I don't see.
So the video, for example, the video is not. The video Arteta made, right? It's not Arteta's idea to make the video. These are departments in a big organization, a work organization.
He's the general manager too.
He's again.
Sorry, he's the manager of the club too. His role
was redefined actually, right? So the department, social media, which is coach, we want you to make a video, that kind of thing. So I think that.
But the video is not the problem.
So
to be honest,
there's a chance.
I'll say something.
The video is not the problem.
I'll say something to
this same PSG scored.
I don't think it's necessary.
I think at Anfield, and they went on to win that game.
I think Arsenal have a great atmosphere. The amount of messaging from the club, right, towards their fan, the need for the fans to do this and do that. In my opinion, you're overcompensating. You have a good football team. It is normal.
Let me finish now.
Okay,
so
I'm just saying. I think it's what it is. Man.
The video. So there's a chance it wasn't his idea, but there's also a chance.
What's his idea?
No, there's a chance it could be his idea. Because Arteta has always done it. He was well reported. He was the one that decided we're going to use this song. He was the one that decided we're going to play this song during training so that the players can get into the... So there's a chance he might feel like... And also, he also has a reputation for he's in control. So if they said, come and do this video and he doesn't want to do it, he probably tells them, no, I don't think that's good for the team.
Yeah.
And so let's not do that. So even if it wasn't his idea, he probably bought into it and felt like, okay, this could be good for the fans. That's why he decided to do it. So... I don't think it was a problem because they were going into a big... Look, whether we like it or not, they've not played here in a long time. They were going into a game that's so important, probably the biggest game in the last...
Don't steal my opinion because you don't go there. Like say you don't enter my brain, like say you don't steal my hands.
They've not been here in a very long time. Biggest game in such a long time, right? And whether we like it or not, it's the semi-finals of the Champions League. There's always going to be pressure. I think what affected them much more is that wasn't even a problem. It was a PSG side that also flew out of the blocks, and whether we like it or not, it was a goal they were unlucky to concede. It wasn't like PSG were so on top of them was why they considered the goal.
In the first 25 minutes, they were though.
No.
It was because of PSG, the goal. That's what I'm saying.
PSG had a good time that first 25 minutes, but it wasn't like they were on top of Arsenal. That was why they conceded. It was a goal Arsenal was very, very unlucky to concede. And they had their own. They should have won the game.
True.
Quite easily after that. And you also have to consider. I think what affected them so much more is you're going to go into the semi-finals of the Champions League. There's going to be a lot of pressure, but you want to have enough talent, enough strategy, enough tactics to drown out that pressure. They had the talent, they had the strategy, they had the tactics, but they were short a little bit on the talent front. That I think affected them more. If they had Partey in, if they had a striker in, they win that game easily. So
I think it's important for me to stress, right, that the video is not the reason they lost, right?
No. I don't.
Again, I met an Arsenal fan at Terra Culture, and it was so nice. Amazing guy. Good guy. Not amazing, but yeah, it was very cordial. So the dragging is pretty much social media, right? I really don't. What I'm saying is that you've got to in the micro details are very important. I saw a team that felt a bit jittery, right? And you shouldn't be jittery in your home stadium, right? And there's a report that the stadium was actually flat.
Yeah, that's where I'm going. I wanted to bounce off what you said.
Yeah, but I don't know if you've seen that.
It's football
that
DNA.
The atmosphere was flat.
It's football heritage.
After they considered.
No, in the game it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't as good as
because they don't believe him. That goal came early. That's what I'm saying.
Not during the goal. Are you not hearing what I'm saying? The over 90 minutes, the atmosphere was flat.
The truth is, in terms of everything, you guys have done wonderful stuff by actually mentioning things that I think Arsenal didn't do right. Football is not just about the tactics and the guys, the assets you put on pitch and all. Also involves the fans as well as how you organize yourselves. So football heritage, we always use that phrase. But the truth is that's what happened to Arsenal. That heritage just failed to show up at the right time.
It's not there.
Because it's not there. It's because of what you've said earlier, which is what I wanted to say. How many times have Arsenal played in the semi-final of Champions League in the last decade, for example? Maybe the last time they were in the Champions League semi-final was in 2006, if we even want to go way back. So they're not used to it. The fans are not used to it. Their social media, whatever guys are not used to it. The manager is not used to it. And most of those players are definitely not used to it.
Yeah.
So how do we do it now? We're going into a big game against a PSG who have not won the Champions League but have constantly played in the semi-final or quarter-final and even in the final of the Champions League. in the last decade.
Yeah. So they are City,
experience.
the fans, they know
fans
the pressure. They know how to...
Emirates.
Yeah.
PSG fans got to Emirates an hour before the Arsenal fans
cooked the whole place up.
They had already been running their flares and all that they do that normal. They were already singing.
Yeah.
For North London was already vibrating.
It's fan base
before,
everything.
do you understand? That intimidation already started. That's the heritage that I'm going.
You're right.
So Arsenal had lost that.
Yeah.
Now Arsenal, the banner that they came out with for that game was just the cannon.
Yeah, I saw that thing going on social media, man.
It just didn't give
Bro,
vibe of,
you're right,
we are going to kill you guys.
You're right,
so the fans didn't buy it. So the fans were in a stage of, oh Lord, we're in the semi-final. We've just beaten Real Madrid. We know Arsenal fans. Very emotional.
Right.
We have to beat this PSG. We've beaten them in the group stage now, but we're not sure. They've already knocked out Aston Villa. They've already knocked out Liverpool. Are we going to be the third? There's all that. Now look at also the fact of when Rodrigo injured this season against United. What happened to City? They crumbled. The moment Partey had that yellow card in the second leg against Real Madrid, that unnecessary yellow card, did you notice that Rice was mad at him? Declan Rice was shouting, why? Because he knew he was going to miss. And Declan knew that, Alaye, now me go play 6 for this game. I sabi play 6, so for the last 2 seasons, Arteta don't they use me as 8.
I stepped into the arena, I was watching the game.
So now the game is changing.
Yeah.
So I know that all of us, this synergy that we've had, that we've lost a striker, we're playing Merino as a false 9, is working for us. The moment Partey goes out, that was it. They missed him. Rodri going out for City, that was it. Their season collapsed more or less as title contenders.
Yeah,
that's the same thing for.
I don't know why managers.
That's how important he is to that.
I don't know why managers do this thing where you miss a player in one position, right? And because the player is missing one position, you disrupt 2 other positions to solve one position, and by doing so, distort the entire camaraderie of the team, right? Instead of just focusing on isolate the problem. So Partey is crucial for Arsenal.
Super player.
You get, especially it might not be crucial in Premier League. But you see those Champions League games where, you need to just quiet everything down and say, give me the ball. If you run 100 miles per hour, I'm going to pass the ball to that next man and you're not going to change my mind about it.
Right? Now beating the press is very good. Yeah.
So Partey is the one that can play the most in that team.
He's the most experienced.
And he's the most experienced as well.
Played Champions League games with Atletico.
Exactly, right? So
the
player goes out. Partey is on the second yellow card, so he's not playing the game. Focus on solving that one problem.
Jorginho.
Right. So Jorginho, I hear he's injured, right?
Oh.
But 2 solutions, right? 2 things you can do. You can either play Luis Maskelly in that position. He's a kid.
He's a midfielder.
He's a midfield player.
Naturally.
You can either play him there, one, or you can play him there and play Zinchenko at left back. And the argument some people make is that Maskelly actually hold on.
Against PSG's attack.
Against
Maskelly
and Dembele.
That's what. Listen. So that's you have to.
Why 2 just came back from me?
Can you listen, please? Right.
Go on, brother.
Right. So now you play Zinchenko, they're giving you options, right? So that's why you will fail exam. You see option A, you just pick it immediately. That's option A. Option B.
It's
very nonsense.
Well, go ahead and fail exam because you're listening. So that's option A. Option B is you play Timber left back, right? Ben White is on the bench. You play Ben White, who has synergy with Saka, so you don't need to rebuild anything there. So that's option B. Hold on. Option C is you play Luis Maskelly in his position, left back, and you play Zinchenko in midfield, right? Which you have been very keen to impress us with in the past seasons.
Because Zinchenko is even a midfielder.
Again, you guys are the ones that always say that, no, Zinchenko da bola, they play midfield. So the one time that you have to, I know it's Champions League semi-final, right? But this is the guy that's won five Premier League titles.
Vitinha Neves, who's that third guy? Ruiz.
Again, the same thing you praise Vitinha for, midfield, right? Man. Is what everybody praises Zinchenko for. He's on the ball. He's just really good on the ball, right? Vitinha is not your It's not your shin crusher. He's your exactly.
He's your deep line playmaker.
So Zinchenko can manipulate the ball very well.
Lungs, man.
So again, if you place Zinchenko there, you keep your Merino in the same position. You keep your Timber in the same position. You keep your Leo Maskelly in the same position. You keep your Declan Rice in the same position.
That's 3 options, Ruby.
So no.
That's hard, man.
What I'm saying, What I'm saying is that you're not altering the team. So you are only changing one player. But when you now take out part in the team, you now play Declan Rice there. As a result, you have to bring Merino backwards. You are altering the entire dynamic of going forward, which the team has been used to for a while. Now,
exactly.
So it's too many. So in trying to fix one problem, you created two more problems.
Nah, you have to blame Partey.
Hold on, bro. Hold on.
No, can't blame Partey.
You just analyze based on, anybody that didn't see the game will probably think Arsenal literally lost the game with a lot of goals. Arsenal played well in that game.
Yeah.
They controlled the game from when probably first 10 minutes they were shaky, because I told you there is nobody you will score as early as third minute and they will
very lucky
and they will not shake. It's even if you score Madrid in the semi-final, first minute they would shake. Yeah. Guy, you don't need to change the structure of the team.
Again, if you say PSG had 2 1-on-1s, right? Arsenal had 2 1-on-1s as well, right?
Yeah.
In a football game, there will be chances created and goalkeepers will make saves, right? Ultimately, what matters in these games is winning. Jose Mourinho has famously said, look, semi-finals, when you get finals are not to be played, are to be won. And he also said, look, if you get once you get to semi-final, you are like, if you're a serious team, you get to semi-final, you should know that you are good. You have to be in the final. I'm not saying Arsenal is a serious team. Look, I'm the first person to give Arsenal credit. I was watching the game. I was actually very impressed with Arsenal. But ultimately, when you lose the game, it becomes important for us to now say, this is the results. Forget all that, Martinelli missed a 1-on-1. Yes, Trossard missed a 1-on-1. But ultimately, they've lost the game.
But they were unlucky. Why?
Same way.
That's not.
They were unlucky.
Martinelli never put his head up.
And that's the way they fight for ground. One day I'll be fine.
All he had to do was look up. This is where Donnarumma is going.
Senior man.
No, senior man no show. Me, I know the senior man. FX only.
They didn't have the talent they should have. Fine. But Yubi was talking about structure of the team. And I think there is no reason you should change any structure of the team.
So that's the manager's headache. Wait, crucial player.
But you're saying what I'm saying.
You're saying what you're saying now.
But you're saying what I'm saying. Again, that's the thing. Abigail doesn't listen, right? You have said what I've said. I said don't change the structure of the team because you are trying to fix parties. You understand?
Parties in
solve one problem.
I agree to that. And I
like that Champions League where it took a play. Let's say midfield again problem. He carries our Niguez from midfield, play for left back. Carry Rich James, play for central midfield. Scatter the entire team. I don't know if you remember, it was against Atletico Madrid.
Yeah. Wait first.
Now he needed to do something.
No, he was being stupid.
But we won.
No.
Was this
Which one? Talking about we lost.
That second season.
Zenit St. Petersburg or something. It was second season.
Okay.
So I agree that you don't change the dynamic of the team because you lost a player, but I don't think he changed it a lot. Do you know why? Because he went with what was familiar in terms of players
like for
and
like
structure.
Yeah.
So when you look at Miles Kelly coming from left back and then dipping into midfield.
By the way, what a player.
What a player. When you look at Miles Kelly coming from left back and dipping into midfield, he did that. He didn't switch because he knew that all we have lost is Partey not playing. That's all we have lost.
And that's a lot.
Of course, we know now.
Big lot, man.
So we're going to have a midfield.
It's like someone saying, say remove money. Is Nigeria like that money you are removed?
No, say aside from bad
governance. That bad governance you removed. They gonna punish you. So it's Partey.
So we've lost Partey, but we're going to have the same midfield. We're not going to change the midfield. We're not going to change the defense. That's what he did.
But Declan got carried away.
Bear in mind,
he didn't sit.
Bearing in mind
press high.
that the Arteta's whole game is built on his defensive solidity. So he went with, we're not going to change the defense line, we're not going to change the midfield. It's still going to be the same. But what now, the only difference here is
personnel.
That, what's his name? Merino would then need to do a lot more defensive work in midfield. And then we'll substitute Merino's whatever up front with Trossard. That's all he did. Miles Kelly was still busting into the midfield, doing what he would do. That's how he did that true pass to Martinelli or whatever. So I don't think he changed a lot, actually. It was just a case of they had their chances, they didn't take it. I still think Arsenal are going to go through.
I think Arsenal, look,
right?
When you're trying to build football heritage, right? I think it is important to realize this is Arsenal. I think Arsenal have the most complete team in the Champions League.
You want me to define football heritage?
Yeah.
Player for player, no. I don't.
No. In terms
You want
like
me to help you define
no.
heritage?
Team. Like no. Defensively, I don't think this team as strong as Arsenal defensively in Champions League.
I agree.
They can play 4 hours low block. See this thing Inter Milan we're trying to do. If they do it Barcelona, they will play 3 hours.
Make we see Arsenal Barcelona first. Because that the way if now another team play Barcelona that night, Barcelona will score at least 5 or 6.
Nah lie.
What did they talk?
Nah lie. Leave that one first. We'll get there. Defensively, Arsenal very good. Midfield.
You score Barcelona, this Barcelona, but they will outscore you.
No, they won't. This Arsenal, why this is so? They can defend 4 hours.
Okay,
You get. They fit no score, but they will fit defend 4 hours. Right? Now, what they lack in a personnel like a Victor up front or a Gyökeres type up front, they compensate for with, they do that thing where they defend, then they have a 5 minutes, 10 minutes flurry. Everybody, it's just people getting, Marino will get a goal, Rice will get a goal, it's all get a goal. When they finish that goal scoring, they come back and they shell up. They defend till the end of the game. So in terms of being suited to a Champions League tournament, they are very suited to it, right? And that's more complete than Barcelona at the moment. That's more complete than PSG, and certainly more complete than Inter Milan. Inter Milan.
I don't think they are more complete than Inter Milan.
No. Inter Milan are a good team. I've seen some things in this last game that,
They played too many games. They played a lot, 50-something games.
No, I know.
Yeah.
So they
waiting on concern.
So game go they calendar they go play
plan now, so it's only normal that
I mean sign players for them.
right.
Their gasket on the bone.
So that's what I think. I still think
When they Messi they play 60 games.
Man, Mr. Man.
Sorry, I don't do this to him.
Right.
When Messi they play 60 games all season, you know talk.
I believe that Arsenal go through.
They remind me of Inter of 2010.
You see, again, the shenanigans that are there's some unnecessary things you don't do for
They
you.
don't go draw again. This is that way that they go.
You get, it's like that Premier League game where they won't play Man City for Etihad. That one go.
That one are their fans.
I feel, I agree with you.
Rob Lai go in front Etihad.
To an extent, they want to come out.
He say,
but
wherever you're across the world.
So but see, that's what I respect Arteta and this is team for. You see, even after they conceded, they stayed in their shape, they stayed in their game. Because after they conceded that first goal, if they don't rush, so make we go equalize. They will not chop like 2-3. Because waiting those idiots where they from PSG, they find a 1-on-1. They just define 1-on-1 across.
But that's where you have to also respect Enrique. Enrique, totally different second half. Totally different second half.
You should get out.
He played well, but I don't respect him.
He changed. Calm down. Let me finish. He changed the tactics. He knew Arsenal was going to come at them in the second half, and they just went on the counter. So point was, Arsenal play, no wala, we get Donnarumma. And we know that we have Dembele, Doué, or Kvaratskhelia.
And his team is all.
Why I like him is that if Trossard go simply opening body, shooting right leg. I don't know why you shoot your left leg.
I wouldn't have exactly, but I would have started a Trossard. I would have continued with that same.
Again, that's what I'm saying. You will play Martinelli in his own position.
I'll play Skelly in that.
You see, say you won't start Trossard.
But I won't start Trossard. I will start Merino as the guy up front.
Say you won't start Trossard. It's a bit revisionist. Do you know why?
I said it when
I've been watching him this season.
At least when you watch the game together. What I thought what was the game?
I hear you now.
Me,
I know why.
At least I won't
I can see why.
I know. I can understand why they go.
Trossard is a marksman. See, Arsenal fans will say they don't like him.
Yeah, but he's a good goal scorer, no doubt.
He doesn't know when to leave the ball. But when you're talking about put the ball in the net.
If you do where?
He's a mask man.
Left and right, no doubt.
And you need those kind of
people in the Champions League. Give him 2 of those chances. He go score 1.
For Champions League, only 1 did they give.
Not true.
You talk
or half.
For
half chance.
For Champions League, only 2. I don't know if you watch Man U Bilbao. Let's talk about that game, right?
No, we're not.
Wait.
Cool down. When I give Messi penalty and red card, you say more talk about
that. What did do last week?
Right. So let's just go into the second leg, right?
One.
Okay, sorry.
IBK, Inter Bayern, what happens in the game?
Inter Bayern.
Barcelona.
What they do you now? If they hate on me, which kind of talk down?
Wrap it up.
If they hate on me, do and when now, which on me?
I don't talk, you don't talk as this. I'm not hiding.
I don't tell now, say, Inter no be my problem. My problem is PSG. I've said it here before. I will go past Inter at San Siro easily.
Easily.
Yeah, easily. Inter, they've lost their last 3 games. They've lost. They are not on top of Serie A again. They are struggling, and they are playing me. They are playing me at a very wrong time, bro. I'll finish it
After they've
out.
sent Guardiola to go and hype Inzaghi. I see one video, he say Inzaghi is a brilliant coach. You're not in Champions League. Why are you commenting on?
Shut up your mouth.
Leave things are not.
Go hype on coach now. The coach will begin mess up.
Leave things are not concern you.
Simeone Inzaghi has paid his dues.
What do you think happens then with the top coach?
Yeah, me, I'm my bias. I've always loved Inter Milan from the get-go. So, and Simeone Inzaghi is someone I've been watching for a while, from Lazio and all that, what he's done.
Where else if
Tactically,
You get it, I went on
I think
managing by before.
he's been the best coach in this Champions League from not them conceding and all, and of course going front foot on all the competitions. That's one of the reasons why they played 50+ games. So yeah, I can understand why IBK is very confident that they're a bit tired, so you could tell. But the thing is, they are more or less like reborn in certain players like Thuram. I'm surprised what Thuram is playing. Last year, I thought he was on 2, that he should have been a defender like his father. But apparently, the guy is, because he's improved so much and he's shown that he's actually a very good striker. Where Lautaro Martinez is struggling and he was even injured, he has stepped up and all. So that's also good. But the truth about it is, let's look at the game.
No, we don't have time to look at the game.
The truth about it is the gameplay. The gameplay for this is who has played very well, and for me, is the defense. That defenses win you titles.
Yeah.
Barcelona, yes, going forward and they strike, then they score, but you can always score them. So for me, I'll go with Inter. I think Inter have it to.
Is Martinez out of second leg?
We're not sure.
We're not sure, but it's most likely an injury.
I think Inter are going to go through as well because
whatever happens, don't play that Mkhitaryan again. I don't know what.
We're failing to see.
Old man. I don't understand.
That's why you don't play him now.
No, bro, they did it. Bro, relax. So go and look. Go and look at the list of distances covered in that game.
I saw that stat you saw. I saw it too.
Don't see what people don't realize is you see this Barcelona, what they do and they do very well, and they are very different to PSG. You see that Arsenal game, Barcelona will deliberately play a very high line. You know, they want you.
You know that high line is very high. You know that high line is very.
They want you to try and beat it very quickly. But you see, their press, and that's why I also believe that Inter will eventually knock them out. You know why? You see, when that game was going on Wednesday, I was like, there is no way this Barcelona team will finish this game.
That's why you're confident when you said you won bet 5 minutes into the game. I said the game was going to end 2-2.
This intensity when Barcelona they play with for first half, I was like, there's no way they end it this way. And that's when Inter will win. It was unfortunately they lost Lautaro Martinez in the second half. Because the entire game Barcelona plays, will play this high line and will press you like madmen.
Oh, they do it all too now.
But you see, when you play against people like Inter Milan, see, bro.
I thought those ones, they even sat to
how the Yamal performance, bro. See, the Yamal performance.
Without Yamal, they lose the game.
See,
no, Yamal na Inter Milan player. Without Yamal, they lose the game. Na Inter sign am.
The Yamal performance completely overshadowed what Inter Milan did. Whether you like it or not, if away goal wasn't off, they went to your and scored 4 goals. Bro, the onside trap was brutal. They scored 4 goals at your home, and you're thinking you're gonna beat them easily.
Steamroll them
when you go
San Siro.
Look, when they go to Inter Milan, you're gonna do the same thing. High line. The only thing I fought Inter Milan for was at the start of the game, they bought into the illusion. Oh, let's beat this high line with our first thought. They are trying to play first time to beat. That's not how to do it. You need a carrier, you need dummy runs, you need to relax a bit, you need people that are very. And you see again when you were saying they couldn't hold on to the ball. You see, quality, you can't legislate for it. When they had Brozovic, it was different.
Yeah.
Now you have you can't compare Çalhanoğlu and Mkhitaryan on the ball.
No, Barella Sabi would ball.
Barella Sabi not on the policy of Brozovic.
Barella is a carrier.
He's a carrier.
Why I pulled you up on Çalhanoğlu? Say now last week they followed me and say Çalhanoğlu is one of the best players in the world.
Çalhanoğlu is one of the best. I still maintain.
The central but doesn't know how to beat the press. He's not a player that can beat the press.
You maintain him. Me I destroy him.
Çalhanoğlu is still one of the best CM in Europe right now.
Don't forget.
But you see, in that first phase, you cannot compare anybody to Brozovic inside and Inter Milan.
No, Pedri flaws Çalhanoğlu.
You understand? Right. So in the second half,
that's a special player.
It's a special player. In the second half, and you are also not considering the fact that, bro, some of the things that happened to you in that game, you got the rub of the game. The goal,
Mkhitaryan scored.
Rafinha
scored. If you play that same shot 5 times, amazing shots, by the way.
But na corner routine without it now.
He hit the bar, hit the keeper for back, enter. If you play on 5 times, 3, 4
but na corner routine without him.
No, I think
but look at the goals Inter Milan scored you. They were
So that will not be
playing
locked.
to you. They were playing to
That will not
you.
be locked.
So we talked Inter, Barcelona, Arsenal, PSG. What do Arsenal need to do in the second leg?
They need to win.
No, I think if they play the exact same way they played in first leg, they're gonna win the game. They didn't do much wrong in the first leg.
I think my fear is.
I don't think there'll be any videos.
I think
Raya is the best goalkeeper in the world. I'm sorry.
Relax.
No. I think Raya is the best goalkeeper in the world.
Donnarumma is over him.
Bro,
Sure.
I don't think Donnarumma is over the Raya. I don't know that it's, again, you go back to the metrics, the different, criteria. Shot stopping, Raya is there. Sweeping, Raya is there.
Too for me is
No. I think right, again, his form.
Because he's in the semi-final of the champion. That's why I said.
I don't know a goalkeeper right now that
He's very
plays
good, no doubt.
When I watch Raya now, he's doing Manonoya stuff, with sweeping and everything. I don't ever think you can never play high ball over Arsenal and expect that someone will not come out. Raya will be there. Like it's almost like he's playing.
but his timing is good.
Oh, his timing is amazing. Top goalkeeper.
I don't think Arsenal need to do much different. I think Partey is going to be back definitely.
For sure.
So that's a big addition. They're going to win.
I think Arsenal will win.
Barca PSG final.
Yeah.
Take it to the bank.
I agree.
But that prophet,
to the bank.
that pastor that said, have you seen that video?
I've seen it.
That said he saw a backup PSG final.
I think it's a PSG Inter final, but hey, for me, if I was going
Let's
to
see how it goes
go
now.
for it, PSG would definitely score Arsenal. But Arsenal have to score first in the first 15 minutes to be in the game. If not,
yeah.
do a
right,
Kvaratskhelia,
right.
Dembele if he plays. If Dembele doesn't play,
What can
Dembele
help
doesn't play.
Arsenal
He
is,
play.
because he's injured.
what can help Arsenal is that they have to be
because
patient.
Goncalo Ramos he's not clinical.
If I was PSG,
See.
and that's how I know that Enrique won't do it. If I was PSG,
You don't like this guy.
I go into that game, and the only thing I target is counter attack.
That's it now. That's what they
Enrique
most
won't
like.
Yeah, that's it.
That's what he would do in the second leg. In the second leg, second half.
Yeah,
No
that
be-
Hugh
no
Breeze.
be-
That's what he would do.
That's
Second
right.
half.
No be the Enrique way.
That
way
Hugh
they
Breeze,
watch, so this
that
one
Hugh
go
Breeze is
defend.
gonna make them. I think Arsenal go through. I want Arsenal to go through.
Big final.
So the final would have a different vibe. Arsenal, Barcelona. I think that if Arsenal play Barcelona in the final, Arsenal win. I just think.
Maybe semi-final end first. Just relax.
No, it just I have to say they say left. I be right wing. Lamine Yamal.
Timber.
Saka, no, Lamine
What else?
Yamal.
Oh, what else?
Saka.
Don't talk that
That's what you
Timber
define
thing.
as right wingers
Baba,
now. Abi.
My Skelly.
Vinicius no dribble.
So we'll see whether Saka or
Yamal
Yamal can show
go
themselves.
dribble.
Yamal will look for green grass to run.
He will not
find it.
Who's the left back? Who's the left back
against
for Lewis Kelly? Abi,
Yeah.
he will die that day.
Skelly can finish her.
He will die that
And
day.
that one,
You see.
you know Sabi defend. The
Yamal-
boy, you know even Sabi defend.
Sabi defense. No
Who be
dey
that?
talk
Skelly.
wrong.
Skelly, you know Sabi defend.
Skelly can try.
He knows Sabi defend.
Sabi
Now he
carry ball
attack.
too.
Now he's not carry her. No,
know,
man,
Sabi
carry ball.
I think a problem I say. I think a problem I say.
Now.
All the players, the only Barcelona players supposed to get out.
Nonsense guy.
I'm telling you,
Lewis Kelly
Lewis
will die that
Kelly
day.
is
See.
top 5 young best players in the world.
Nobody
at the
say
moment.
no be tough. I
You
make him meet laugh.
You get-
My
Lewis Kelly-
bros say the Marco. Now they come out after say.
Lewis Kelly.
Hey, bros,
Marco
you've
na
had
left wing back.
Bros,
I
you've
like
had
it.
enough. Left wing back.
Marco has to be
Wetin concern me?
ashamed of that performance.
What is that? Yamal don't go dribble.
He go dribble anybody. Even Simeone talk am say I had to
No be-
play him double
Yes,
on him, but
No
still
be
it didn't
no
work.
be dribbling. They go dribble. See,
Hey, say the Marco
go dribble
reach
defender.
out, he won't
Cut
back.
him
they go
now.
dribble defender. They go shoot police.
Now
You
you
get.
dribble.
You get. They go shoot police. Kugo cut in hand. You
Ah,
understand?
my own Dimarco.
But you see the Marco. You don't go front.
Left wing
Now
back,
you dribble.
guys.
You don't go front.
You don't go front. You don't go
Why
front.
you go front? You know they get strategy. Make you go
So
front.
why you did the team?
First, you know go front, they kill her like that.
Now left wing back they play now.
No.
Baba, you know
That
me.
game.
Now see, now
So-
he work
so-
now.
Now
So-
him Bastoni Barella. In fact, three guys were on him. every now and then.
I want to ignore Bruno Fernandes this thing.
I beg.
What
Bruno
do
say,
you
Bruno say, now to die go rest. No worry.
Europa League final.
Say he know
By the way,
rest.
Bruno needs to leave United.
Say you know what rest. That guy, his gasket
for his own good. And by the way, now that yesterday match, I know why Arsenal fans get problem with Odegaard. That yesterday match.
Come on, that PSG, other guy know the top form. I just
No clutch. No
When is he ever in form?
clutch.
one?
Last season he
When
was.
season
Before he
start like
got
it's
injured,
Odegaard.
he was.
No.
He was.
Before he got injured, he
Wale,
was.
so say you get your coach phone number. Now my own, just I take back God now.
No,
Make una just give us 3 points. When I don't win league,
No,
oh,
rotate him.
I beg.
No.
Now go start Chiesa. Now go start Nunes. That was two.
You got of honor. Arsenal.
Nunes can't start again because if he starts, that's his 50th game. We have to pay £5 million extra.
They will never start.
I beg. Maybe I give out 3 points.
Which kind of club is that?
Clause.
You guys are a Calagon.
All those are done, man. They always.
All European final, all English teams, bro. Crazy.
Looking like it too. Chelsea. In fact, let's not.
Chelsea are winning the Europa League. That one is a
Against Fiorentina or Real Betis.
Anthony. You see what Anthony did?
Now 2-1.
So now Man U Sport
Yeah.
final now. That's crazy, man.
Oh, butter them. I just want Ten Hag for one last job, one last dance. I need Ten Hag for that one last dance. Right? He's still on our payroll. We got.
Shout out to Maguire.
He's still on our payroll, Baba. Oh,
That game is tough.
Spurs beat you guys 3 times.
Harry Jacob Maguire.
You
What
guys-
a player, Baba.
Spurs
I
beat
made-
you guys 3 times.
I made a bold.
this season.
That's why that important one. Then go pin the pass.
Ahead of
Well,
that.
they go
other
Spurs in
one.
finals,
That will
so
score
we'll
more.
see.
No, of course not.
Man, you go your wait. Match go start.
Maguire-
Position for the
He's a-
president. Man, you go your wait. Say wait. They also collect red card. Don't worry.
That's it now.
That be bad.
Three
They
red
do
cards
stadium.
back to
They
back.
ginger. He
But
go
was that
back.
red card? But
No, it wasn't a red card. It was a penalty.
They should have just give you the penalty.
Yellow card.
Which kind
And yellow card is
Yeah.
that's triple jeopardy.
penalty and red
Yeah,
card. That's
you know, that is
I
harsh.
thought
That
they
was
had
harsh.
stopped that in.
That was harsh. That was harsh.
Omo,
That was
Bruno
harsh.
say, that red card.
Bilbao to
Penalty.
score.
Yeah.
Bruno secondly find Bilbao to score.
They knock
Just
am
one
right.
minute.
He like
That Bruno,
he like anything.
unfair advantage. That Bruno like.
See Nico Williams. See Nico Williams.
After that,
Oh, your club was trying to be sly.
Why
You come for back door, one drop because Lavia do now. Don't drop more money.
Why did your Chelsea fans say Liverpool are big? Don't go 3 points. Say Caicedo and Lavia will do public apology.
now that guy of honor Arsenal go do 90. Now
I go do guard of honor. I don't get problem.
No, we do got honor that one that spot.
No, but you can decide. It's not mandatory.
It's mandatory, okay?
It is.
I thought it wasn't.
They won
Which-
the league now. You do guard of honor.
You know we do got honor, okay?
You don't have
You
to.
do guard of honor now.
I heard United didn't do it for Liverpool.
We did.
God.
They don't win league.
No,
You do
United
have honor.
not won a league when Ferguson did. Anytime we Liverpool win league, we did too far behind to even.
When Liverpool won the league in 2019-2020,
We don't play finishings.
Playing them now.
We don't play finishings. God is always very personal.
No, we'll go do guard of honor. It's not a problem.